This is one of those topics that I honestly wish it wasn't a thing, but I guess I have to talk about it. The destiny swapping thing. This is where people prevent you from living your life and they go on and adopt everything about you and try to live your life, or they copy your style, so to speak. So how is that even a thing? They managed to do so by basically doing things like making sure that you don't get a job that you're supposed to get. You don't you don't live where you were supposed to live. Like, they basically break you down. You have to be poor, sitting somewhere in a corner, dying, and then they get to live your life. They get to take on your role, or act, not even take it on, act your role. The problem comes when you start going back and living your life. That is, even if you're not living your most life, like the exact life that you were living, but you're moving, you're doing something about your life. You're trying to do something as minimal as possible, like a simple thing like taking care of yourself, working in whatever job you want to work, even if it's not like the main job that you would have been able to do. That becomes a problem for them, because uh, it's not about the job, I say. It's about the influence that you would have in an environment, like setting, like a workplace or a school or a community. As long as you are moving in your authenticity, you are bound to make an impression on people the way you were supposed to make an impression, despite you not necessarily living the life that you potentially have, um, you could potentially have to live. Like, despite you having let's say you were meant to be a doctor and you can't be a doctor, but then you work in a hospital, you're a cleaner at a hospital. You will still get to do what you need to do there, because of you. God will make sure that you do what you need to do, because you would be in an environment that is setting that you need it. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be a healer by being a surgeon or anything like that. You could just be someone who is, you know, walking the corridors of hospital, cleaning, and cheering patients, or I don't know, cheering the staff. That could be a way of you healing others. And this is where I'm not solely sold on this idea of destiny swapping. Because if you were really destiny swapping, you wouldn't necessarily need to suppress someone. So, what these people do is they even go as far as try to, you seclude you in some space. And if they could lock you up in a room and throw away the key, that's what they would do. Just come in and feed you while they're going on about and live your life. That's the only way that it would work. The problem with it is, which is why I'm like, I'm not really sold on this shit. As you are locked in there and they're trying to live your life, the more you're not living your life as well, the more they don't have anything to copy. So it's like, what are you doing? What's the point? What are you copying? Because how will you know what I would be at a certain stage in my life if you have me locked up in some room somewhere? Doesn't make sense. So this is where I'm like, how is it going to work? It doesn't sound like something that can be sustainable, because If you had to stop someone from living their life, and let's say they completely give up, they don't want to do anything and sit there in the corner and not do much, just breathe, eat, poop, and repeat. What destiny are you going to be copying exactly? Because how do you know what that person is supposed to be doing at that time? Unless, like me, they would have copied my destiny. That is, they would know more or less what I need to achieve next. But how do you know how I achieve that? Because in what they copied, they don't know how I get there. They just see points in a timeline to say, okay, you're going to get here, you're going to get there, you're going to get there, but they don't know how you get there. So you need to be able to be walking in your purpose in order for them to know what would be, how you would actually get there. So this person needs to be able to get to the next point. Otherwise, they're just as good as stuck, just like everybody else, just like the other person that they're copying. So my question was, how is this even a thing? It's like, it sounds like something that is only possible for a duration of time. And that duration is dependent on that person either waking up to realize that, okay, they're wasting their lives away, and they wake up and they start moving in their purpose, or if that person decides, okay, I'm giving up, I'm just gonna sit here and do nothing. What are you gonna copy then? Or if that person dies, how do you keep that facade going? Because it's going to crack, especially if you don't know, if you're not made to maintain whatever it is that this person was supposed to be. Say, for instance, you are trying to destiny swap with someone who has much, I will call it as it is, much more bigger destiny than you. That is much more, that requires more energy for them to achieve it. You won't be able to do that if that person is gone. That energy is gone with them, right? Because they had that, they're the ones who had the energy, not you. And I've heard of other people doing silly rituals, and I think this could have been something that they did to my uncle, where they kind of like bound your spirit to something or someone, and then keep feeding off your spirit energy to continue the cycle of them living in your destiny or using your energy that way. But then I'm looking at it and I'm like, okay, fine, but how long are you going to do that for? I guess you will do it as long as you are bound to that person. Then I ask myself questions like, do these people ever die, or they live forever? They find a way to live forever. And my understanding is that even if they do live long, they don't live forever because eventually they have to die. This is why they're always looking for an entity or something that could make them live longer, and I could possibly be one of those type of things or entity that could make them extend their lives. However, there's also an issue with that. You're gonna live your life, meaning you're gonna continue creating debt against this spirit that you're stealing from, or this person that you stole from. And then millennia down the line, God comes with this specific plan to get everybody to be in line with the universe in terms of everybody paying their debts eventually. And now here's the thing: you owe, not just, you know, for the millennia that you managed to live through up until this point. You owe that much to the universe, to people, to whoever it is that you got yourself bound to. Now everything has to go back to where it needs to go back to. What are you going to do? Hmm. What are you gonna do? And this is why these people are fighting so much not for me to walk in my purpose, is because they know that when that comes with all the debt that they have acquired up until this point, and some of them might have been here too long. That is, they have acquired so much of debt that they're going to have to pay lifetimes, and not necessarily just them paying lifetimes, but their lineages are going to be poor for the next coming lifetimes. And this is where they have an issue. They have an issue. And I'm like, at least it's those few people who stole energy like that, right? The rest of the people will pay their debts, but they'll at least be able to come out of those debts. But the I believe it's like probably 1 or 2% of the people who had been living in this kind of lifestyle, where they believe that it's okay to steal other people's energy. And this is because of they know the rules, they know the rules of the universe, and they hid it from everybody else. But then they use it, they break it to um, oppress people who don't know. They use that knowledge to do what they're doing to the rest of the world, and they know that now. That I guess this is why they say, I'm going to, if this person rises, I'm going to take money and wealth from their children. It's not theirs to begin with. If they had anything against me that they did, yeah, I'm coming for my shit, motherfuckers. I am coming for my shit. Even if it's not this lifetime, I'll come back for my shit. And this is the thing. It's like, it's almost like I don't understand why they lied to themselves so much that they would never get to a point where they would have to pay up for this shit. But I think it's because of laziness. They didn't want to apply themselves, they never wanted to apply their minds. And they were like too lazy to be like, you know what, we know the rules, we know that um, shit can happen, but we're gonna go on and pretend that, you know, it won't happen. And they lied to each other. Oh no, don't worry, God will never get here. Don't worry, he'll never find Earth. Don't worry, it'll never happen. Don't worry, she'll never wake up. She'll never wake up. And guess who wakes me up? The devil himself woke me up. He triggered my alarm. I knew he was going to come through one day. And I put it there, knowing very well that he won't be able to help himself. He's just that way. Oh man. And now here we are. And I'm looking at these fools who have been sent by, or who are working or signed with the devil himself. And I'm like, that nigga is gone. Y'all are gonna turn and look back and you'll find no one behind you. No one will be standing with you. No devil is gonna be standing with you. The devil knows. He knows that he doesn't have the power. He knows that his brother has the power, and he knows that when his brother gets here, shit's gonna fly. And he understands the rules of the game. For him, he knew or knows how to get around certain things. And he's been using all these people to get around certain things. This is why he would sign contracts with them to say, you deliver this to me, then I'll make you what you need to be. But these people don't realize that it's them who's going to collect the karma. It's them who's going to collect the debt. The devil's hands could possibly be clean. Although he has some other things that he has done which he will have to pay for. Especially to me. He thinks we don't know. I know. He knows that I know. I think he knows that I know. I know because I saw him. um, and and the thing is, that might just be enough to break his back, the camel's back for him. but also all these other people that collected debt that he made to collect debt. If he forced anyone, and there are instances where he forced the people, then yeah, he's gonna have to pay that debt for them. He's gonna have to get to pay the debt as well. And he has done so in very big things as well. Uh, but then the other people now, like this family of mine who are busy with all those shenanigans, what they don't realize is that this is all on them. The devil is also just sitting there watching, like, oh, he doesn't care. They are just a bunch of they don't understand that they're sacrificial lambs. As much as they wanted to sacrifice me to the devil, they don't understand that sacrifice has reversed. They are the ones who are being sacrificed. The devil is sacrificing them now. And they can't do anything about it. There's nothing they can do about it. Yeah, they can continue with this shenanigans. They can continue poisoning me, sending, what do you call them? Hitmans, and trying to kill me all sorts of ways. I'll survive that shit, but they won't. They will keep also they will keep also collecting debt, but they won't survive it because they're already going to start. I haven't seen most of them, but I get the feeling they've already started paying for it. I get the feeling that they're gonna start paying for it, or they have already started paying for it. And it's only a matter of time where they, their curses have fallen off, and all that's left is for them to keep getting karma. They won't handle that karma. They did too much. Not even too much. They just went crazy with shit that they know nothing about. And I mean, it's not to say that I know something about it, but they went crazy. They went crazy. They taught us a lot of things. They I heard a story about them trying to sever a connection between me and Jesus using some mixture of voodoo type of Christianity something. And I guess this is where my family were like, heck no, this shit is gone too far. But they tried that shit. This is how crazy these people are. But they helped in a way, because now we know more or less how far people could go, how far a human's heart, jealousy, envy, hate, whatever you want to call it, can go. And they've shown us their tricks and how they think. And yeah, everybody has to know all these tricks. I believe they have to be shared with the world. The knowledge has to be shared with the world, and protection has to be provided against all of that rubbish going forward. And anyone who does anything similar to anything that infringes or tampers with anyone's light, spirit in anyhow, they should get instant karma. There's no more, oh, karma's gonna go around. No, there must be a protection, instant karma already. And yeah, I don't know if Father's gonna do that, but I think he has done some of it. And it's It's nice. I said to Father, I don't know. Even if it doesn't work properly, we will change it as time goes on. But going through it myself, I knew that it had to be stopped. They had to be stopped. It wasn't going to work that we ignore this and only work on it after the fact when someone is hurt. They need to be stopped before they even think about it. They need to know that if they do something or try to do anything like that, the repercussions are going to be dire. No death, but suffering. No death, but everybody's going to see you for who you really are, because of you're going to show that you were trying this type of method on somebody else, this type of uh, method to tamper with someone else's spirit. And they'll know you for who you are. If you're trying to sacrifice someone, you should be shown that this color on you or this mark on you means you were trying to sacrifice someone. That way, even the authorities will know. When somebody comes and says, she was about to sacrifice me and this happened to her, they arrest her. She'll go through normal karma, normal instant karma, go through normal karma and go to jail because she'll have a mark on her. That shows that you were doing something that you're not supposed to be doing. So this person is not lying. And I think it should also be on the other person's, whatever mark must be the same. On the mark the other person must also have a mark that they were almost a sacrifice or sacrificed by someone. And somehow it should tie back to the person who wanted to sacrifice them. There shouldn't be this thing of, well, we're going to do genetic what and what not and what. No. You will have a mark of sacrificial lamb. They will have a mark of sacrificer. And when they put them together, they should maybe glow even to say, yeah, it is this specific person. It's not that one. It's this one. Where it glows, it means sorry, that's the culprit. Because you know how people are, they could get a sacrificial whatever and maybe not even like trying to blame somebody else, who's innocent, but maybe they didn't notice, they didn't see who was involved. So that person can be found, and if that person is not found, that thing does not go away, and it should stay there. It should stay until they are found. And after they are found, it should stay there for a while still. It should stay there for at least 5 years or so on them. It can be removed on the other person, but it should, or fade in a way. Take 5 years to fade. Anyway. So yeah, now these guys who are basically all of them are destiny swapping with me. I guess they had to get as many people as possible to destiny swap with me, thinking that there's no way for us to figure out who's destiny swapping, and that I would not be able to fight all these destiny swappers. But here's the thing, is that there is going to get to a point where even if they stop things like getting a job and all of this um, worldly things, so to speak, the things that they think make a human being, your job, your house, your whatever, how you live, your husband even, because they're also trying to stop the divine masculines as well. And I'm like, I have so many divine masculines And when Father, I said to Father, so what if I cannot be with all of these people? It's like, it's not a problem. You will anyway continue on your own. I was like, oh, I can do that. He's like, of course. And I was like, okay. Because I was really concerned about depending on people. You know, this is why you don't want to have as many people as they had in this whole shenanigans of theirs. Is that you can't control too many people, you know. Divine masculines, just like me, at some stage they would be flawed, they would be karmic, and to have to depend on each other to be awake so that we move on is kind of counterproductive. So Father said to me, no, you might have to do this alone up until the end. And I was like, okay. But then I said to Father, but then uh, how will I do that? It's like, of course, we will be there with you all every step of the way. And they will still be with me every step of the way. That is my spirit team. So achieving what I need to achieve is not an issue. It's just different ways of achieving it, I guess. But what I think Father wanted mostly was for me to be with someone. And just to be with a companion of some kind. But I feel like, you know, if anything, he, even if it's not like a divine masculine or a counterpart, so to speak, I can still continue with whoever it is who is inspired to join the mission. Because sometimes it's not about people who are made for it, it's also about the passion. They might not have that strength, as much power as the other counterparts have, but they could have the most important thing, which is the need and the want and the passion to do something about this whole thing that is preventing the world to move forward. It's, for me, I feel like I didn't need to have that much energy, but because I am guided by the universe and I have all this power behind me supporting me. What I need is just to have that passion of wanting to do and achieve my mission and my destiny, and that's all I need. The power will come with Father. And the divine masculines, as much as they think that they're so important, what, they don't want them to come through because they're going to bring children and whatever. And I'm like, I am that child. Yes, there are other masters that possibly could join, but I am that child. You all are just too bloody late. These people are so slow. But I do believe that Father wanted me to bring more friends and help. It's not people who are going to put the world in a bad state. It's actually people who are going to help the world, and these people don't want that. But I'm looking at them and I'm thinking to myself, these idiots. I am that child. Yeah, we could bring more children like me or whatever, but the child that they should have stopped, well, even if they tried it, they wouldn't have been able to. And even if they do try it, I'll still come back and I'll start where I left off. So it will be much, much faster next time.